Okay, so dancing shoes. Um, Dancing shoes, maybe we can divide this subject into women's dancing shoes and men's dancing shoes. I'll tell you my personal case, some story. Let's say when I started to wanted to become a professional, uh, basically I bought my first, let's call it tango shoes. Okay, before that I have danced for many years with actually anything you can name. And actually I've danced for many years. I don't know if you know this brand of shoes, but they are called Dr. Martens, which they are huge kind of military type of shoes. So as you can see, they were not, the supposed officially perfect shoes. Okay, they were very big and heavy. Okay, anyhow, through some years I bought, let's say, these perfect tango shoes, right? Or where they're supposed to, and then talking to people. For example, one of my best mentors, El Turco Jose, uh, told me basically, I told him, what type of shoes do you use? And he told me, I use any type of street shoes that are comfortable to me. That's it. Okay, so when I bought these, supposed officially tango shoes, actually he thought it was kind of funny, and he thought it was kind of weird that you could call something tango shoes because in his time or what he used, it was just street shoes of any regular common store. You put them on, they are comfortable, that's it. Those are your shoes. Also, one interesting story I can tell you is that at some point in my life I was participating in the biggest tango event that there was back then. Okay, so we were a bunch of dancers that we were going to perform in a place where the floor was extremely slippery. It was like, like dancing on top of a mirror, very slippery. So the funny thing is that all of us, we were taking turns. Some person will go and perform, the other one will perform in just 3 minutes, etc., etc. So the funny and interesting story is that we were all looking to see who was going to fall because it was really slippery. The good news is that nobody fell. Everybody actually has succeeded. But the lesson from this story is you have to be able to dance in any and all situations, with any shoes, with a sticky floor, with a very slippery show. It doesn't matter. And actually they are all very good trainings. Later on in my practice I adopted the custom of having different shoes with different type of consistencies. So maybe one day for some time I will put something very slippery. And when something is very slippery, the interesting thing is that you get very sensitive and you cannot do so many mistakes. You cannot be so brutal with respect to your grasp. So you really have to pay attention. And on the other end, if the floor is sticky, I will put sticky shoes. So it will be very heavy to turn, very heavy to pivot. So what happened with that is that, trust me, you will learn the technique of how to pivot and how to turn and how to do everything no matter what. And you know what? All these techniques, you will need them. Okay? Especially if you are like me. I travel around the world. I see different floors every week. So if you change floors, you have to be able to adapt and take it. So this is probably for both men and women's, this last part, men and women's shoes, and I wanted to just close it up with the last part of it, which is women's shoes, women's high heels shoes. The thing goes like this: your high heels, see, they're not just shoes, just that they look nice. High heels have a design that produce a type of specific balance that is needed for the dance. Okay, so it produces that, and it also produces a type of accommodating within your body that it has the tendency, to support your feelings of femininity and being sexy. Okay, so your shoe, your high heel shoes, is your instrument for the dance. Okay, how do you know this, for example? Because if you don't use high heels, you use your lower heels, and you use them for if you don't use high heels and you use short heels, and you practice like that, then you notice that when you put your high heels, you're falling all over the place, and you don't know how to dance that well. So so high heels is your instrument. Okay, so you cannot play, let's say, piano and then pretending to be able to play the saxophone good, because they're different instruments. So use them 24/7, or at least a minimum every time you are dancing. Even if you change roles, even if you feel like leading, use your high heels, so you will learn. In women's techniques, for example, some of the complaint of some women that are using high heels is that it's uncomfortable to your feet, and your feet hurts, and you have maybe some lower back problems because it hurts. Well, the news that I have for you is that it's not the high heels that is producing that, but it's that you don't know how to walk with high heels. Okay, so the point is not that you take them off, but rather you put them on. For example, you go through all the women's technique exercises, and especially the beyond women's technique exercises, where I will show you how to use those high heels, so with very little effort, with very sensitive feet, and without hurting yourself. So enjoy your training, use different types of shoes, different types of floors. Women use high heels. Enjoy it. See you on the next video.